In question 31, we're told that 6 friends are sitting around in a circle discussing which 2 sports each of them most likes to play. We're then given this table here, which represents the outcome of that discussion, where we have, rather than the individual sports that each child likes, we're told the sports that are liked by the friend sitting on the left, the friend sitting on the right, and the friend sitting opposite. So, rather than the individual children's preferences, we have this to reckon with. Okay, we're then told that for Jess, she discovers that the friends on either side of her share one common interest. Okay, so Jess is the focus of the question, in which we're being asked, who is Jess sitting opposite? Okay, so in order to work out who Jess is sitting opposite, i.e. who is the child who likes football and snooker, we're going to have to model out the process of this discussion. So, using a roughly hexagonal shape to represent the 6 children sitting around, we can put Jess at the top here, and we know that Jess has someone sitting on her left who likes cricket and rugby. Since Jess is facing inwards, this will be her left-hand side. So she has someone sitting here who likes cricket and rugby, and someone sitting on her right who likes football and golf. Okay, bearing that in mind, we also know that she has someone sitting opposite her who likes football and snooker, who is the person we need to find. Okay, but how do we get to this person? Well, let's start with what we know. We know that she has someone on her right who likes football and golf. So in order to find who's sitting here, we could say that the person sitting here also has someone on their left who likes football and golf. Having a look through here, the only person who has someone on the left who likes football and golf is Eli, who we can represent as E here. Okay, let's fill in the rest for Eli. Eli has someone sitting on his right who likes football and snooker, and he has someone opposite who likes cricket and rugby. So we can fill those in. Again, we can do this exact same process we did before. In order to find the person here, we know that they must have someone on their right who likes cricket and rugby. The only person who has cricket and rugby as a friend on the right is David, so we can represent David as D. And filling in the rest for David, he has someone on his left who likes football and snooker, and someone opposite who likes football and golf. So we'll fill those in. So this is what we have so far, and there's nowhere else we can really go from here using those clues alone. We have to use the information given in the question, namely the fact that Jess has friends sitting on either side of her who shares one common interest. So, we know that on Jess's left, she has friends who like cricket and rugby, and on the right, she has a friend on the right who likes football and golf. So, Jess must have either cricket or rugby, and either football or golf as personal interests of her own. Okay, so we can consider that. We should also consider the fact that we've already checked off David, Eli and Jess from our graph so far, so we're only considering Amir, George and Peter for candidates of the person opposite. So for instance, if you were rushed for time, after working out that Jess, Eli and David were here, you might have a stab and have a guess at which of the other 3 might be the answer. But there is a way to get to the right answer, it just involves a little more legwork. So we know that if Amir was opposite, since Amir, the person opposite Amir, i.e. if Amir was here, Jess would therefore like hockey and snooker. We know this isn't viable since Jess has to like either cricket or rugby for one of her interests and football or golf for the other. So we know this is wrong. Okay, let's try if George was opposite. Well, if George was opposite Jess, then Jess would therefore like golf and rugby. So, Jess likes golf and rugby. Let's see if that's viable. Let's map it on here. If George was here, Jess would like golf and rugby. Well, out of these 2, she does like rugby, and out of these 2, she likes golf. Well, that's perfectly viable. So we can say this is right. And looking through our remainder, we can see who else has someone on their left who likes golf and rugby. Well, out of the 3 remaining ones, that's Peter. So Peter would be here. And who has someone on their right who likes golf and rugby? Well, that would have to be Amir, which we can see here. So this does all seem to check out, so we can mark that as one viable option. Let's assess our final option, i.e. could it be possible that Peter's opposite Jess? Well, if Peter's opposite, then Jess would have to like cricket and hockey. Well, Jess could like cricket out of C and R, but she has to like either football or golf as her second interest, therefore this is not viable. So we have our answer that George is opposite, and that's the only viable possibility. given this piece of information. Therefore our answer is D.